Go board. Let's go. Oh, you got me there, Jin. Says Shiu. Why, hello there, young man. Something you need? Just a caucus, Shiu. It's your turn. I mean, do I have questions for them? I could use a short break. How about you, Jen? Fine, a short break. Apparently I've been hearing about things that I haven't been hearing about yet, but... What a coincidence! It wasn't but an hour ago that we were all discussing that very thing. We have been having bad dreams, every one of us. Is that right? Once I'm comfortable with giving a stranger details about my dreams. They're just dreams, don't worry about it. Don't mind him, he's always been a poor sport. But he raises a good point. Some of our dreams contain information best left private. Just as yours do, I'm sure. Having just met, how can we be sure that you'll respect our personal information? I'll tell you. I believe you're trustworthy. Please, simplicity, make yourself comfortable. I'll share my dream with you. Wait. Oh, you'll tell me your dream. I thought he was gonna tell the other guy why they can trust me, and I'm like, I'm still waiting. I appreciate it. I dreamed of a long, dingy hall. When faced with such a thing, one generally walks its length, so I lifted my right foot and placed it in front of me. But upon taking the first step, I found myself instead drawn down an alleyway to my left. It wasn't there before this alley, it appeared only as I began to walk. As I moved down the alley, I found myself surrounded by friends and loved ones. They all stood there, silently watching me with smiles on their faces, and as I passed each one of them, they fell to the ground in my wake, dropping like puppets with severed strings. Somehow I knew that if I followed this road to the end, I could have everything I'd ever dreamed of, but I woke before I could reach it, killing everyone you ever cared for. I too saw the long hall. My own experience was different, however. The hall was far off in the distance, and I was looking down on it from a strange angle, as though I was perched on a wall high above. You know, young man, simplicity. You look very much like the person I saw walking that hall. He moved steadily down the path, walking at an even pace, and just behind him a great and terrible shadow followed. Of course, I didn't have the best view up there on that wall or wherever it was. It could have been anyone. Perhaps this old mind of mine is seeing your face now and misremembering the dream. Alright, Jin, you go ahead. I've changed my mind. I don't want to share my dream. Nonsense, Master Lowe and I have both told my dreams. Now it's your turn. No. Oops. I mean, it's fine, you know. See, straight from the horse's mouth. I don't have to. Jin, this is important. Alright, but don't you go repeating any of this, you hear me? Let me guess, there was a hole. My dream began as a nightmare. I dreamed of the failures and mistakes that I've made throughout my life. The people I've let down, the competitors I've crushed, the wife who died in hospice without me. I dreamed of the family that I abandoned. But then I dreamed of a walled city. I stood there, and its door opened to me, and when I passed inside, all of my guilt felt away. It was as though the city had absolved me, had washed away my guilt, and I remember feeling happy. 'Cause I'm happy. No. There, I did it. You happy? Thank you, Jin. Boring. I have no thanks to. Yeah, now can we change the subject? My ulcer's is acting up. This sort of thing normal? If it were normal, we wouldn't be huddled around discussing them in the whispers now, would we? Enough of that, Jim. Simplicity here asked in earnest for our advice. It deserves a proper response. Please forgive our friend. Bitter years have left him suspicious of others. The answer to your question is no. Upsetting dreams have never been uncommon in Haoi, but these recent visitations have been different. They've been darker, more vivid, stronger than in normal dreams. Last night I was consumed by the sense that something was coming. While my friends here felt a sense of relief and excitement as their dreams ended, I felt as though I was sitting on the precipice of something vast and terrible chasm, with a void yawning beneath my feet. But perhaps these are just the ramblings of an old man. Please forgive me. You speak wisely, Shu. It is foolish to embrace a thing that you do not understand. What Jin and I saw in our dreams was alluring, but so is the light to a moth. Your instincts are still strong and sharp, my old friend. It is wise of you to trust them, especially since it killed every single one you loved. Just saying. Thank you. We can only hope these dreams do lead to something beautiful. Is already enough deception in this world. Can we get back to the game now? I don't want to keep you. Of course, stop by again sometime soon, Zablicity. Your company has been refreshing. I guess. Appreciated, young man. We'll be seeing you. What's this? Parlor of 5 what? Phases. Okay. Let's see what this is about. Oh. What Mourning the Dead, is it? Crafty Zoo. Are you a shopkeeper? There's an adjective in the name, so I don't know. Last time I had a shopkeeper, it was an adjective in the name. I'm not actually reading all of this, by the way. Welcome! Don't believe I've seen you before. Name's Crafty. Nice to meet you. So, Simplicity, what can I do for you? I've got spells, alchemical reagents, foci, whatever you want, really. Might have to do some digging to find it, but if it's magical, it's around here somewhere. Cool. We're gonna see about buying a healing spell anytime. Have you had any vivid dreams? As a matter of fact, I have, Simplicity, but we'll get the occasional vivid dream. Nothing special there. Really? Why are you reading up on them? Sure, it's a little weird that we're having them, but these types of dreams are common in the walled city. Nothing to get all worked up about, probably. Explain. Common as the cold, my mother devoted her life to researching the walled city and the magical phenomena within it, so I grew up with stories about the city, the recurrent creepy dreams being one of them. I've never been inside the walled city myself, but Mum went in pretty regularly and experienced the dreams. Mom sounds like an interesting person, no shit. Sure, she was interesting, but not praiseworthy. Really? Tell me about yourself. I'm not sure where to start. What do you want to know? What do you do when you're not at work? Magic, I'm gonna guess. I've been pretty crunched here at the shop, so I don't have a lot of time outside of work. But when I'm off the clock, I like to read and paint. Maybe kick back and enjoy a meal with my friends. My buddy Gubbit sometimes stops with food. No drag racing or anything. Pretty boring. Gubbit is a friend, though. Obviously, she gets spills somewhere. You said you paint? Just for fun. I don't make any money off of it or anything like that. I just find it relaxing. Rather than design my tattoos, but that's about the extent that I take it beyond the canvas. I can't really see the tattoos very much. That's unfortunate. I'd like to see your paintings sometimes. Some of them are around the shop. You're welcome to take a look. What do you like to read? Aside from the usual, I love sitting down each morning to a tall cup of soulcaf, and with the latest news stream online, I pop it right open to the obituaries. Makes for great reading. Obituaries? I mean, it can be funny at times, I suppose. We're talking about dead people, but they are being described, and that in itself can be interesting, I suppose. Kidding. Well, for all you know. I tend to stray towards detective novels, maybe some suspense and horror, and when I'm not reading for leisure, I study my textbooks to keep my magic sharp. I'm gonna guess yes they are, but you know, just for the sake of this conversation. You know, lovely gobbets? I'm sure they're one and the same. She's a good person. We're not real close, but we have a pleasant relationship. Chatting over French fries, discussing our latest reads. You know, shallow things. How do you know her? They got me out of the top spot, actually. Good. Keep her on your side. Gobbet's pretty fluid in the ways of the city and the people who live here. She knows her stuff. If you stick with her, you'll find yourself in a lot of trouble than you would otherwise. Right. Sure, what's on your mind? Is Crafty really your first name? No. The name started as a joke, actually. Back home, my mom used to call me Crafty, since the meaning is similar to my given name. I liked it because of the way it sounds. I insisted that my family call me Crafty, so it became a sort of nickname around the house. When I got older and started school in Hong Kong, I made my mom register me as Crafty, and it stuck. Oh. Phyllis Sue. No need to insinuate that you're trustworthy. Nothing's taken. It's better than my given name. Meow. Meow, meow, meow. Yes, like a cat, you foreigners always make that same joke, which is why I grew up disliking the name. You can see why I prefer Crafty. Yes, actually I do. Did you study magic too? I sure did. Natural predisposition, or whatever. But Mom and I learned to craft differently. I went to a university and she was book taught. My mom was very old school. Her magic wasn't as applicable to everyday situations, and it was rooted in superstitions. It still worked, and well, but only for more ritualistic, ancient spells. Practical spells like rain shields and bottomless trash cans were outside of her repertoire. Sure, because, you know, we did not apply the scientific mind to magic in the old books that she used. Is this your store? I'm gonna guess yes. It's mine. I inherited it from my mum. As you can see, she generously left me all her research journals. Mum was never a big cleaner, but neither am I. My mum used to keep spirits around that helped her manage the place. They're not here anymore, but sometimes I swear my books aren't where I last placed them. Who knows? Maybe they pop by for visits. I just wish they'd clean while they're here. Is it so special? I don't know. It's old, respectable, built over a dragon line. We also carry texts unavailable anywhere else. But I guess, for me, I'm drawn to this place by the nostalgia. Of course you are. How do you like it? At the job, can't complain. What is the name of the store? It's a cultural thing. The 5 phases. Oh, that, right. The 5 phases represent wood, earth, fire, water, fire, and metal. Some people believe they're the basis of how things function and interact in this world. You'll find it practiced all throughout China in disciplines ranging from farming to science, even music. The theory isn't common among younger generations, but it has its uses. My mother was strongly influenced by it. In fact, our sign out front is a visual representation of the cycle of 5 phases. It was an inspiration to her. I just think that it looks neat. What is it about the old city? Very little, just my mother spent most of the time in there, well, best her up. Is there something specific you want to know about? I'm gonna guess Chi was bad? Can't tell me about it. Where to begin? The walled city's always been a hellhole. It started a bad place. It's still a bad place. Crime's drawn to it like a magnet, and you can't enter the city without a security guard on each elbow. But not even that will guarantee you safe passage. No one famous or rich or memorable has ever come from the place, and the only thing it's known for around here is its shitty reputation. That's about the gist of it. Now, there's a whole library here that just so happens to be the foremost location for walled city text. I'm sure you can fill in the blanks. Maybe. Both are interesting. I've been thinking about the dreams. Go ahead. It's definitely strange. Until now, I always thought the dreams were nonsense, that my mother just had night terrors because of her madness. But now it's really happening, and not just to me, to others around Huey. Those same psychic forces that drove Mom insane are edging into our subconscious. Lately I've been wondering if there might have been something in her to her ravings. Maybe. I've been skeptical for so long, it feels almost blasphemous to consider it. Maybe the Walled City's curse is real. I just don't know. Or maybe you can learn something from her journal. That's true, but my mother's notes are scattered all over the shop. Most of her research is scrawled in the margins of the books that you see on the shelves and piles and stacks of all over. The clues we need to figure this thing out could be in any one of these volumes, and there are thousands of them. I mean, I have a bad feeling that's true. This isn't just about... Either one of these is what I like. This. Yeah, I know what I have to do. I'll just look at them all. Guess I won't be finishing this one anytime soon. Alright, simplicity. I'm going to get started now, but it'll take time. The House of Five Faces is jammed from floor to ceiling with books, and any one of them could hold valuable information. Check in once in a while. I'll share my findings with you. Thank you. I'll do what I can too. Thanks, I appreciate that. Just saying thanks didn't feel like enough. You know, I had to also tell her, hey, I'll support you if I can. I've been recording for this long? Seriously? Man, we're only getting started with just, oh, god damn it. We're just meeting people, we're not getting much action. Your relationship was funny. You'd better believe it, she was obsessed with the Walled City, put it before everyone in her life. Mom ate, slept, and breathed that city. Was there something fueling her? Yeah, actually, Mom was convinced that something was wrong with the place, that it was cursed in some way, polluted with unnaturally bad chi. Sorry. God. Well, she'd visit the city under the protection of the Yellow Lotus and spend hours, sometimes days, studying it. Mother was consumed by her research. Literally consumed? Did you ever find anything? She tried. Mom thought she could find a way to purify the place and to exorcise its demons. Her obsession with the Walled City grew, and she devoted more and more of her life to breaking its curse. I wish I could say she fell off the radar, but really, the rest of the world fell off of hers. Oh. Sorry. It is what it is, and here I am now. Well, oh, this one then. I never just met Simplicity, but you have a generous ear. I don't mind discussing my mother with you as long as we keep the details between us. Mother's research was stupid, just plain stupid. She wasn't stupid herself, no. Mom was very bright, but her obsession was downright unhealthy. Anyone can see that. The Walled City is a toxic place, home to dark spirits and astral influence, but Mom believed in a singular curse at the heart of the place. Many good questions. My mother failed to change the Walled City, and the time she spent inside there changed her. She grew sickly and became moody, irritable. She suffered from night terrors the rest of her life. Must have been difficult to watch her decline. It wasn't just that. The breaking point for me was her ridiculous obsession. I refused to indulge her, and it drove a wedge between us. Neither of us were willing to relent. I guess we had that in common, stubborn till the end. I guess you do. So, after Mom died, I turned my back on her work and left the Walled City and its people to themselves. It's a toxic site beyond rehabilitation. I do my best to ignore it. Yeah, we had a researcher come to the same conclusion recently. At least, I've tried. Now that these dreams, these nightmares, are leaking out of the Walled City, I wonder if I can still ignore it. Well, we always have a choice. You're right, but not everyone's choices are weighted evenly, and I just don't think I can turn a blind eye to what's happening here. We've had this discussion differently, but we've had this discussion before. I have my mother's journals. I have the means to try and help. It's sure to dredge up bad memories, but if it'll help my friends, maybe it'll be worth it. I don't know. I guess I have a lot to think about. Anyway, thanks for lending me that ear of yours. You're welcome. Can I now see if you have the healing spell or not? A shamanist garb, that's funny. Heal wound 1. Spellcasting 2, are you kidding? I like it, but well, it's good to know. Outfits, okay. Spells, conjuring. Haste is nice too, but it's conjuring too. That's too much. Bunch of fetishes that allow to use things. Do we have... Can I see what the rat thing is? No. What is a shamanic salve? Oh. Heal over time. Thanks, Crafty. See you around. Okay. Let's see. It's only 2 points. Should be fine. Doesn't mean I don't get my charisma yet. That's to get new missions, I assume. This is... There's a shop around here, isn't there? Mayong Parlor. Oh, wait, no, that's the Mayong Parlor. I thought we were up here. That's quite the distance.